People have gone to prison for game show fraud.
That is a bold-faced lie. I'm going 36 months. That's it. 36
Are you
months.
having a stroke? Hello, Matt Cox. How are you?
Hey, I am excellent.
It's been so long since I've seen you last, but it's good to see you.
It does feel like forever.
It does. Before we kind of get into the thick of things, you a gambler?
No. I've gambled one time. No, a couple times. I think I played like two or three hands of blackjack in Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like Vegas?
I mean, I like going to Vegas, but I don't go to gamble. I go because I like the museums and I like you go to what is it, Hoover Dam, and you can go. I like to do this stuff. Stuff.
Okay, cool. Well, today's episode that we're going to do together, and we'll talk about the game and how it kind of plays out, is themed. Every story that we're going to talk about involves gambling, either as the centerpiece or peripherally, or Vegas, stuff like that. And so it's kind of a themed episode, Vegas and gambling. Every story is going to involve that. And the way it works is this. I'm going to be telling you about a series of stories. I'm going to explain to you exactly what the crime was, what the bad guys did, how they were discovered, if I know, the investigation itself, and then you're going to tell me how much their sentence was. And if you're within 20%, then you get a point, and your passing score is 50% of the stories that I'm going to give you today.
You would think that would be easy. But I really bombed the last one.
The last one did not go well. It went so poorly, we ended up cutting the episode off with the last two stories because we went a little long and you were mathematically eliminated from competition.
Yeah.
But we'll see if you can redeem that today. After all, the people watching are your fans, not mine. So I'm rooting for you. I know you don't think so, but I'm rooting for you. It's not me against you. It's you against logic and reason.
Sounds good.
What state in the U.S., Matt Cox, do you think has the most interracial marriages?
I'm going to go with Alabama.
Alabama's your guess?
I'm going to guess California.
You're going to guess California? You both would be wrong.
Okay.
The correct answer is Hawaii.
Real? Wait, what kind of interrace? What interrace? Wait a minute. I was thinking white and black.
I know that's what you were thinking, but there are other races.
Okay. Oh, this just, you got to.
Again, I was an FBI special agent in Hawaii for 7 years, and it's a majority, Asian Pacific Islander place to be, and a lot of the people there are married across different races. But even within the Asian Pacific Islanders, there are people who, because there's been so many interracial marriages there, who kind of have one foot firmly planted. You'll have a guy who's half German, half Filipino, and so there's a fellow out there in Hawaii named Jason Pasqua that I investigated, and he was part Japanese and part Filipino, to such an extent, and I'm going somewhere with this, that he was the president of the Filipino Chamber of Commerce for the state of Hawaii, and he was the treasurer for the Japanese Chamber of Commerce at the same time.
Okay.
He also ran for office a couple times. I don't think that went particularly well. And he was I'm not going to say war hero, but he served in the military and was called up to either the Iraq or Afghanistan war during the global war on terror and served admirably. This guy was exactly like the pillar of the community, you would think. Like, again, business leader, veteran, local boy. People liked Jason Pasqua. It was very easy when he started offering people investment returns in an investment program. He's offering them 25 to 50% a year, secured by promissory notes.
He's offering them 25 to
50% investment returns. Returns, yeah. So you invest $1,000, you're going to get 1,500, up to 1,500, but guaranteed.
That sounds perfectly legal. That happens.
Absolutely, and he's writing promissory notes to them, and with a personal guarantee behind it. So not only was he's personally guaranteeing it, which gave people a sense of comfort. Mm-hmm. The people of Hawaii are lovely people, Matt Cox, but they're not always the most financially sophisticated investors.
Very trusting.
And the ones who asked Jason, and they all did, how are you going to make this kind of money? He said, I have this business where I'm going to be hosting after parties in Las Vegas. And the after parties in Las Vegas are going to have a cover charge on the door at nightclubs in Vegas. So Beyonce goes to concert in Las Vegas. We're going to host the after party that the celebrities will come to, as well as the people who went to the concert. And we're going to make a fortune, and you're going to get 25 to 50% of your money. The people of Hawaii love Las Vegas. A skeptical person would make some comment about Asian people and degenerate gambling. I'm not going to say that because everyone makes their own decisions. But there's something about the culture in Hawaii that people there love gambling, and gambling's not legal in Hawaii. It's legal in Las Vegas. So when they go on vacation from the nicest place on planet Earth, arguably in Hawaii, they're going to Vegas.
To Sin City.
Sin City to gamble. It was funny is that they all stay in the same like 3 hotels in downtown, and so they see all the same people they knew in their community in Hawaii, and they spend all the time there eating like spam musubi and Hawaii food and at these casinos. Anyway, he's offering this Las Vegas after party investment program, and he's saying it's going to be filled with celebrities and models. He wants to share his wealth with his investors. 29 different investors kicked him $1.4 million.
Wow.
They gave him. And the twist ending is that he did not spend this on hosting after parties, but he did spend it in Las Vegas gambling and drinking at nightclubs. He gets the bottle service at the nightclubs. You know that thing where you're kind of behind the rope and you and your friends are kind of chilling out on the couch, and they bring you like a bottle of liquor, Dom Perignon or whatever.
Right.
Not my thing. That was his thing. Jason was a guy who was always willing to pick up the tab.
With other people's money.
Well, sure. I mean, as far as anyone knew, it was his money. And to be fair, some investors received money back from Jason, investment returns. But those investment returns were not being derived from any income-producing activity, Matt Cox. They were being derived from the principal investments of themselves and other investors in what we call
a Ponzi scheme.
A Ponzi scheme. By definition, that's what a Ponzi scheme is.
Did you know what Ponzi said, how Ponzi said he was raising his money?
Charles Ponzi was working an arbitrage scheme off of postage stamps. He said
international postage stamps.
Yeah. He figured out that you can buy an international postage stamp for this much, and but an actual U.S. stamp was a different price, and the difference between those was how he claimed he was going to be making his investment returns.
Didn't buy any postage stamps.
But he quickly realized that there's more money to be made by the actual Ponzi scheme itself. The structure of it goes back to ancient Greece.
Yeah.
For some reason, the name just sort of stuck with Charles Ponzi when he was ripping off the people of Boston, I think it was.
Yeah, it was that used to be called the Peter Paul scam.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Robbing Peter to pay Paul. Makes sense. Yeah. Well, that's exactly what Jason did. And so the net loss, because that's the number which matters to you and matters to the courts, is $1 million, right? So he took in 400,000 of that was recycled back to the investors to create the illusion of investment returns, which also has the benefit to the bad guy of allowing people to talk about how they got investment returns and allowing the scheme to spread a little bit virally. So when I caught up with Jason as the case agent, I interviewed all the victims, looked at the bank statements, see that he's just pissing it away in Vegas. He was like the nicest, most charming guy in the world.
Did he buy you lunch?
He did not buy me lunch.
Let me get that.
But he was still, I could see why people trusted him. Mm-hmm. And he was incredibly kind as he was signing the confession that I put in front of him. And we shook hands warmly. And we ended up going to a grand jury and indicting him. Or maybe he pled guilty to an information. I don't remember. It was a while ago.
Right.
Pled guilty to fraud, $1 million loss. Again, pillar in the community. Veteran, Filipino Chamber of Commerce, Japanese Chamber of Commerce, but people trusted him. There's definitely a violation of trust here. 29 investors. How much time do you think a guy like Jason Pasqua is going to get in prison, or got in prison, in fact?
Well, I wish I could look this up. Yeah, I mean, he's got no criminal history.
None whatsoever.
I mean, let's say... I would say like 3 or 4 years. Let's say, I don't know, 30. Let's say 41 months. Let's go 41 months.
The correct answer is 48 months.
Come on, I got to be close on that.
48 times 0.8 is 38 months.
You did
You're
it.
in.
You're in. You're in. You got one.
Are you going to put a sound effect in? Ding ding. Or are you going to do the? No, that's it. Oh my God.
We've had conversations in previous times where I've come to visit you about the amount of compassion that you have for drug addicts and people who get into a life of crime to feed their drug habit. and how you feel that is a get out of jail free card.
Dude, that is a bold faced lie. I give them.
All you have to do is ram a bunch of powder up your nose, and then you're willing to forgive all crimes. Is that right?
No, I think that it should be taken into consideration
and give them a lower sentence.
Yeah, but that's not a get out of free time. I'm not saying you don't go to jail. I'm saying instead of getting 60 months, maybe you give them a little bit of time off, or give them the drug program or something. But you have to, But I feel like they've got a compulsion, and
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we may have to agree to disagree once again.
I'm not letting him out of jail. He's still committed a crime.
You are letting him out of jail earlier than he would have otherwise. Let's be clear about that. That someone who chooses to not use a lot of drugs ends up serving more time in the United States than Matt Cox.
Well,
right?
I do.Maybe I have a little bit of compassion.
Okay, so my question to you is: will you extend the same courtesy, the same discount for the culpability of their actions to someone who's addicted to gambling?
Yeah, I kind of think so. I kind of feel like this. Yes, because they very much, if you've been around gamblers and drug addicts, they very much do the same type of thing when they're in the middle of their addiction. Mm-hmm. They tend to say things and lie and twist things, and they do the same similar thing. So I probably would, maybe not as much as a drug addict, but probably pretty close.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
good.
Well, I just wanted to get your opinion on that. There's a fellow in. Well, I was curious to hear your thought process.
I'm not letting him out of jail. I'm just
you are letting him out of jail.
Take it into consideration
earlier than they would otherwise had they not had a gambling addiction or a drug addiction, and that's fine. It's not an unreasonable position to take. The law it certainly agrees with you, and I'm not even saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's interesting to me. There's a government agency in the state of Washington, based in Tacoma, called the Washington State Office of Administrative Hearings. I'm not going to bore you with the details of what they do. It doesn't really matter, but it's a state government agency, okay? The office employed a fellow by the name of Matthew Ping, as a program analyst. But he had a very important side duty. The agency had a credit card that they could use for office expenses. And Matthew was the keeper of the credit card. To such an extent, and he took that very seriously. He kept it under lock and key in his office so no one could actually get the credit card, because once you get that credit card, boy, Katie bar the door. You could do anything you want with it.
Did he have a gambling problem?
Matt had a secret. Matt had a secret no one knew. He was addicted to gambling. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And whenever he had a chance, he would catch a cheap flight to Las Vegas and go on a gambling bender. Mm. And he lost all the money he brought on nearly every trip. He was a terrible gambler. Every subsequent trip to Vegas found him making more and more outrageous bets in hopes of recouping the bets he made last time where he lost money. Mm-hmm. Just total gambling addict behavior. The problem is, being a gambling addict is a bit of an expensive hobby. And he gets to the office and he realizes, man, I need to go gambling again to make up all the losses I had last time, but I don't have any money.
These guys.
But you know what he does have?
The credit card.
That goddamn credit card sitting in the locked drawer of his desk. He had to brainstorm them. He establishes some credit card merchant accounts as if he were a store in names similar to the names of actual vendors that the government agency he worked for used. And he starts charging the state credit card with the money going to him. Right. And putting him in the accounting records because it looks like he's paying vendors of this state agency for, let's say, office supplies or whatever. He's able to do this for 2 full years before someone figured it out, banging out $900,000 in fake charges.
There's a reason that easy side hustle feels like a felony. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They've got over 1,000 attorneys, and they've been fighting for the people for over 35 years. That's not luck. That's results. Like this. In Florida, an insurance company offered someone $350,000. Morgan & Morgan got them $12 million. Another client in Pennsylvania was offered $500,000. Morgan & Morgan helped them walk away with $29 million. When you hire them, it's like showing up to a fight with a legal army behind you. And their fee? It's free unless they win. So if you're ever injured and it's not your fault, don't mess around. You can start your claim without even leaving the couch. Go to forthepeople.com/Matthew Cox. That's forthepeople.com/Matthew Cox. So by the way, that is the way to do it. I mean, that he got greedy. That's how he got caught. He could have probably done that forever, but that's the way to do it, where you're the merchant accounts using the credit cards, similar names or something like it, that they seem perfect. So it almost passed an audit. It passed to me. That'd probably pass an audit.
It's a false vendor scheme using credit cards.
Yeah. The problem is $900,000.
Yeah, and the other problem is that he has nothing to show for it because he pissed away it all in Vegas.
Well,
I mean, it's
well,
different.
he's not a successful criminal. Yeah, clearly.
Right. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's a little different if you are living large and,
Yeah, you bought your cars and vacations.
Yeah,
and you're
at least you
enjoying
get to kind of enjoy that.
He's just blowing it.
And I think when you're losing in Vegas, it's not as fun. So eventually the Washington state auditors learn of the scheme. They stumble upon this when they're conducting a routine audit. They call in the FBI to investigate. The IRS is also called in because guess what? He ain't paying taxes on the $900,000 he stole. He's charged with fraud and tax evasion, and he pleads guilty. Smash cut to his sentencing. Hang in there. The prosecutor, I'm going to tell you this. This is a huge clue for you. The prosecutor says, lock him up for 33 months. And Matt makes this impassioned speech to the judge about his crippling gambling addiction and his inability to find social services to stop him from harming himself. Okay?
Yep.
Now, the question is, we have federal judge Tiffany Cartwright, 40-year-old, not unattractive for a federal judge. It's her decision. Mm-hmm. What do you think she's going to do?
I want to say 36 months because he can go to RDAP and get a year off, and he'll get help in prison.
Does the RDAP program count gambling addiction as a...
It counts addiction. I would think it would count. I don't. You know what? I don't necessarily know that it does count gambling addiction, but I'm gonna say they said 33 months. They almost always go with what the judge said. I mean, with what the prosecution.
I'm just throwing it out there at you. We got a young, kind of pretty federal judge, Tiffany Cartwright. 40 years old. She's hearing this. Government's asking for 33. Defendant is saying, I got a problem.
Right.
And I couldn't get help for my problem.
Right.
Should pull your heartstrings, Matt Cox, because you're a soft touch.
Some say 30. What is it? 33?
33 is what's being asked for.
Yes, fine. I'm going with 33.
33 is your guess.
Yes.
And you're going to stay solid that she took the government's side of this thing, not the defendant's side of this thing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Judge Tiffany, good-looking lady, sentenced him 18 months in prison.
Oh, man.
You ever been to Toledo, Ohio?
No.
No?
Why?
You a roller coaster guy?
I do like roller coasters, yes.
The best roller coaster park in America is called Cedar Point.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of near Toledo. Mm-hmm. And my uncle...
Got the wooden roller coasters, right?
Yeah, they got everything.
Okay.
All the coasters are. In the federal government, this has nothing to do with the story, but it's a Toledo story. In government buildings and contractors for the snack bars in the lobby of the government buildings where you can pick up like a Coke and a Snickers bar, those contracts are awarded to blind people. If you go to pretty much any government building in America, the guy running that store in the government building is legally blind.
My first thought is, doesn't it make it hard for them to refill the vending machines?
Well, it makes
right.
Everything's more difficult, right? And they have a whole.
Oh, come on! That was you're not even gonna laugh. Come on!
My Uncle Jim had the blind store at the federal building in Toledo.
He was
his
blind?
entire life. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I've spent a lot of time in federal buildings,
Yes.
right? And so I'm constantly going down to the lobby to grab a Diet Coke or or some popcorn or whatever, and I'm constantly like handing my money to the blind guy, saying, "This is a $5 bill, sir." And then he like folds the corners in different ways to organize the that.
And how does he know it's a $5 bill?
He just trusts. He just
I think
trusts
now,
him because he's an
I think
FBI
now
agent?
technology probably has some sort of sensor he can place it under that says $5. But back in like 1996, that wasn't the case, and it certainly wasn't the case when Uncle Jim was running the blind store in Toledo. So, just a fun fact for you. But we're going to Toledo, Ohio, and we're going to talk about a charity.
Nothing to do with nothing. Go ahead.
I need segues. Sabrina Serratos, 55-year-old. She had a charity called Adelante, whose stated purpose was to support Hispanic education and empower Latino children and familias with life skills. Okay? It's a good charity, a good cause.
Yeah. I feel like she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing, but yeah.
I mean, the charity was funded through a lot of government grants.
Right.
And corporate grants also. About $700,000 a year in grants from the government, all of which was under the control of this boss, Sabina, we'll call her. She was the charity's director. I mean, she kind of ran the show. She had access to Adelante's bank account, including a debit card that she controlled with little or no oversight from anyone else. No one's watching the store. We have to trust Sabina.
Right.
Okay. Matt Cox, are you sitting down? Sabina also has a gambling problem. For a 2-year period, she would sneak off to the Hollywood Casino in Toledo, and she would make ATM withdrawals from the charity's bank account using the charity's debit card.
It's just wrong.
And she would piss away that money on slot machines. Go right from the charity right to the slots. She kind of ran out of money at the charity, and she ran out and obtained a $50,000 loan for the charity. Then she lost all that money at the casino too.
What's wrong with these people?
It's a gambling addiction, dude. It's that monkey on their back.
Which you have no empathy for at all.
I think you make your choices. Adelante's board of directors was tasked with oversight. They were completely asleep at the wheel. No one was overseeing this. It ended up being a third-party audit that revealed that she had siphoned $535,000 from the charity's coffers, much of which came from the tax dollars. Okay. The FBI investigated Sabina. She provided a full confession. I mean, what's she going to do, right? She pleads guilty to fraud charges, and the charity ends up getting shut down, closes their doors altogether. It does not exist anymore.
Wow, she wiped out the charity.
Wiped them out. The board of directors, there's no way this can be a charity anymore. There's no one involved in this who did the right thing. $535,000 is the significant number for you. How much time are you going to give Sabina?
33 months.
33 months?
33 months.
Talk to me about your thought process there.
I mean, there's one victim, and it is a charitable. It wouldn't even matter, charitable or government. There's still going to be an enhancement. She has a not drug problem. So she's got an addiction problem. Probably has no criminal history. Probably did a whole nother impassioned speech. I don't know if her judge was, hot on her or not. But the other guy got 18 months. I'm sticking with 33 months.
33 months?
Yeah.
So you sound like you're really firm on this one. There's no getting you off 33.
31.
I'm not trying to get you off it. I just want to make sure that
31 months.
I want to make sure that you're comfortable in your own skin this time, because last time was a disaster for you.
31 months.
31 months?
Yes.
Final answer?
Yes.
Okay. The correct answer, 24 months. Fuck. I know you're not a fan of sports.
No.
But I'm wondering, you a fan of betting on sports?
No.
No? Like,
I don't know anything.
you go to a Super Bowl party and people are doing squares. Would you do that? You know what squares are?
No, I think I've only bet one time when I was in prison. Really bet like that on something. Like I told you, I played 21, I think 3 games of not 21, what do they call it? Blackjack.
Blackjack, yeah.
It was for like $5 or $10. And I think I bet one time, I bet on the Casey Anthony trial.
That's what you bet on in prison?
Yeah. They were.
What was the spread?
Yeah, it was like, and I only bet it because it was. I think I said she was innocent because it was like, a 1 to 10 return or 1 or 8, and you could give the guy a soup and you get 8 back if she was.
Soup?
Yeah, top ramen. The soup.
So there's a bookmaker who's accepting soup as money.
But there's no money.
Well, I understand that.
Yeah.
You can't transfer money in a commissary account from one person to another?
No.
I don't know.
No. People would extort each other.
Okay, yeah.
These are nice people.
Right. And cigarettes aren't a thing anymore, right?
No. So they do either mackerel or they do soup. Typically it's mackerel or books of stamps or just stamps in general.
Okay, because there's a cash value to those.
Yeah.
Interesting. And so did you win your soup bet or not?
I won because she was found not guilty.
So you were flush with ramen
everybody else was like murder, like this. They were all like, 2 to this. There was all. He had a little slip, and I bet on it, and I signed it, and he came back, and he gave me my 8 soup. And I remember saying, how'd you do? He's like, oh, I raked up, bro.
Good you. You're a winner. Well, people do bet on sports, and it's a very popular pastime, more so than ever. Back in the old days, you had to call a bookie to bet on sports. Now they have online apps. You could do it. You can do it right here, sitting home. Well, let's talk about Eli Goshert. He was a smart guy. He had a degree in information systems from the University of Pittsburgh, and then a master's degree from Drexel University. And his high wattage brain landed a good paying job with Comcast in network design. This was a smart fella. Okay. So it was because he was such a smart guy, respected among his peers, that it made sense when Eli announced to people that he knew that he had developed a sophisticated computer algorithm that would predict the winner of sporting events with complete accuracy.
Okay.
And within the point spread and everything. Like, he could nail it because he had written the algorithm, because he's a smart guy.
I don't feel like that's the way it works, but
I mean, an algorithm that predicts the future is just too juicy to keep to himself. So
Right.
Eli had an idea. What if he was to create, let's call it like a mutual fund of people who would contribute money and share in the proceeds of his AI sports betting algorithm. He'll call it the Magellan Sports Fund. And that's exactly what he did, and began taking investments from people.
I feel like the U.S. attorney characterized it as a Ponzi scheme.
Well, you're getting ahead of yourself here. So you would invest your savings with Eli, and he would place bets based on the algorithm, and the winnings would go into this mutual fund. His investors were promised between 100% and 200% with no limit to the upside.
Boy, these guys really overpromise, right?
Go big or go home, Matt.
Like that's definitely going to collapse the whole thing.
I think a lot of people thought what you thought, and he only got 12 investors, but they gave him $650,000, right? Just 12 people, many of whom were his friends, right? They know him. He's a smart guy. Give it a shot. And then he began sending them account statements showing returns between 100% and 200%.
So they keep rolling their money over?
Well, I mean, let it ride.
Right.
Why on earth would you take your money
Right.
out? If you're doubling your money every week when the NFL plays, why not? You probably see what's coming, right?
Yeah.
You've watched my videos at Simon Investigations on Instagram. You know what's coming. There was no sophisticated sports betting app that could predict the future. That was a lie. He was lying to people. He stole his investors' money, and he spent it on some amazing Disney vacations. He was a Disney adult. He also paid private school tuition for his kids and mortgage payments on his house. It's not clear to me from the court records that he ever placed a single bet. Not a single bet. The account statements that he sent to his investors were all nonsense. When people asked for their payouts, he said that the sports books with whom he placed the bets were refusing to honor the wages and payout. It's not my fault. It's the sports books. These damn apps, they don't work sometimes. They're not honoring my bets because they've never seen someone as smart as me, Eli would say. I'm working it out. I just need you to be patient, and I'll get you paid out because we're making a fortune.
Right.
But these apps are screwing me over. It's not me, it's the apps.
You're going to get all your money as soon as I get back from Disney.
Exactly. He told other investors that I'd like to meet you and pay you out in cash, but I don't want to carry that much cash around. I feel weird about that. So Eli's investors eventually got tired of waiting, as they often do, and they call the FBI, who makes quick work of the investigation, and they arrest him on fraud charges. The FBI does. Eli pleads guilty. The loss is $650,000, 12 victims. How much you want to bet you get this one right?
Is it 33 months?
You seem kind of hung up on that number. $650,000, 12 victims.
33 months.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was waiting for you to
I really
deliberate.
Think 33 months.
33 months is your guess?
Yes.
And you seem really firm on that. You're stuck to that, huh? I'm just asking.
25 months.
We're going down, not up?
33 months.
I'm not sure which is the angel and which is the devil on your shoulder, but
33 months.
I asked the question. 33 months is your guess?
Yes.
All right, man. I'm not going to belabor this because you're yawning.
I got up. I've been up. I've had a bad night.
Hey, it's your show. The judge just sentenced him to 4 years in prison, 48 months.
So way off. Oh, man. Why was I going to get that right?
48 times.
You said I bet you get this one right.
I thought you would. I was mostly placing a betting joke, but without getting into a long diatribe or debate, you into cryptocurrency?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I think it's garbage. I think it's actually a Ponzi scheme mixed with a pump and dump scheme, and they can.
It's been going on forever. Though,
it has been. It has been. As long as there's new people pumping money into it, it's going to keep the price up really high. And now that there's investment, like mutual funds, basically of cryptocurrency, I don't see it going down necessarily. I just don't think it has a value.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's talk about 28-year-old Brooklyn resident Rashawn Russell.
He was all into crypto.
Well, we'll talk about that. He immigrated from Jamaica at age 15 and was universally regarded as a bright young man with a bright future. In fact, so much that he worked at Deutsche Bank, a really big international bank, in New York, but he left it to open up a cryptocurrency trading firm that he formed called R3 Crypto Fund. Okay, because he thought, unlike you and I, he thought that crypto is really the future, and there's money to be made in crypto mutual funds, which there is for some people.
Do we know what they are?
I'm assuming that Rashawn Russell are two of the R's. I don't really know what the third one is.
Maybe his middle name was something like,
Let's play with. Let's go with that.
Yeah, and the R in the third middle.
So he promised investors returns of 25% every 3 months.
What's wrong? I think that's what Charles Ponzi was promising. Every 90 days, he had a flip 60, and then I think he also had a 90-day promissory note and a 60-day.
If you were to trust Rashawn with your money, he could make that crypto magic happen and get you your money back. That's what he told people, at least, right? So he takes in $1.5 million from enthusiastic crypto investors seeking to get rich quick, and he blew it all on online gambling. As soon as it came in, didn't even bother putting it in crypto. But he realizes he got a problem, right? Investors aren't going to be happy with that.
No, so some are going to have issues.
Right. So in order to cover his tracks until he could figure out how to make this right, he produces false account statements to show them that they're making their money, and that keeps the investors quiet for a while until they want to make a withdrawal. He's got a problem on his hands because he doesn't have any money. He can't even. He did have some investor money coming in because it didn't all come in the same time. So he did Ponzi some of the money back, but not much at all. Not much at all. Rashawn's crypto scam just wasn't enough to feed the gambling addiction. And so what he did was he started canvassing health clubs in New York City and breaking into the lockers of the health clubs. And he stole 140 debit cards and credit cards from people's lockers at health clubs.
Jeez.
And he used that to fund more losing bets and shopping sprees.
How much money did he raise?
Well, I mean, the original investment fraud was $1.5 million. I don't have a good quantification on the theft from the lockers.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm trying to think like you're trying to pay back that. Like, how is your breaking in and
you're not thinking like a gambling addict. The gambling addict thinks that, okay, all I need is $1,000 for me to bet on this this game, and then begin parlaying that until I have all the millions to pay people back. Right? He's going to let the gambling be the helium that lifts up this balloon of his life. But it didn't work out that way.
No.
Right? So there's only one way this thing's going to end, and this one was with the U.S. Postal Inspection Service investigating Rashawn. They bust him for wire fraud and what they call access device fraud, the use of
credit cards
and credit cards. Yeah, and he pleads guilty. And at his sentencing hearing, Matt Cox, he makes an impassioned speech, but a little different than the impassioned speeches. He said that, listen, the Holy Spirit made me new and has revitalized my body with a purpose, is what he told the judge. And so the judge needs to make a decision on, is this really the defendant, or is this the defendant with a revitalized body from the Holy Spirit? Who am I sentencing? Which Rashawn? Am I sentencing old Rashawn, the gambling addict, or the new revitalized Rashawn with the power of the Holy Spirit inside him? Okay. So we're dealing with a loss of $1.5 million, which is how much restitution he owed. So I don't think he got much Ponzi'd back to them. Pennies here, pennies there. I don't know the number of victims, but let's say it's a lot. Let's say it's 50, 100, 200, in decent numbers. How much time are you going to give Rashawn's revitalized body in prison?
This is horrible. This is 36 months.
He's revitalized. Maybe you missed that part.
I don't care if he's revitalized.
And
I feel like he can go. He'll do a lot of good in prison with that revitalization.
But it's like you're sentencing a different guy.
No, it's not. I don't think so.
You don't think legally that would stand up on appeal?
No, I don't think the judge cares about that.
All right, so your guess is 36 months, you said?
Yes.
The correct answer, your favorite number, 41 months. So you're in the ballpark.
I'm good.
You did.
I'm good.
You nailed it.
Nice.
I know you don't have anything against religious people, right?
No.
We're able to laugh at that last guy for his attempt to stay out of prison with his body being revitalized.
All right.
There's some people who I think are just overly religious, kind of in your face with it.
Yeah. Those are the ones that worry me.
It's a bit of a turnoff, right?
Yeah. Those are the guys. The guys that really push it are the ones that I'm always like wary of.
Yeah.
It's like, nah.
Yeah. Sort of like handle with care.
Yeah, you're leaning into this too much.
Yeah. That's what this guy did. Henry Abdo was his name. He was a Lebanese Christian from Lebanon. And I normally wouldn't even bring up his religion. Lived in Fort Lauderdale, Florida boy, like you and I. His religion would be irrelevant, except for he was one of those guys who was always ramming his religion down your throat. When you met him, instead of saying hello or how are you, he would shake your hand and go, come on, may Jehovah be with you. May Jehovah be with you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was his jam. It was not important to know. It was important for him that you knew how godly he was.
Yes.
That was Henry Abdo's jam. And that Rustam really helped him when he was offering risk-free, high-yield investments in Forex, foreign currency transactions, through his company Titanium Capital. His sales pitch is that with the endorsement of Jehovah, he had developed a proprietary software to make money on foreign currency transactions. And he told prospective investors that he was registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and that he had $1 billion under management.
Wow.
Somebody with that kind of liquidity, with Jehovah in his heart, you got to trust him.
Yeah. He's making good calls.
I mean, he's registered with the SEC, he said.
He said. He said.
Yeah, I think you saw it coming, Matt. You've been watching these true crime shows a lot, haven't you? Complete hogwash, all of it. But it sounded good coming from him. A devout Christian would never steal from you, right? Henry's investors were told that his fund had never had a monthly loss. It's only up from here. And he guaranteed them 100% annual returns. I'm going to double your money every year. Jehovah and I will.
Yeah, if it sounds too good to be true.
Yeah. That was good enough for 200 different investors.
Oh, I just don't. Who's in that? Like, I feel like these people really have to be dumb.
Many of whom liquidated their retirement savings to give him money. Total money he took in, $6 million.
Okay.
You may or may not be surprised to learn, Matt Cox.
There was no fund.
He never invested a penny of this money. There was no foreign currency fund at all.
Did he have a gambling problem?
You see it coming, don't you? He was able to create the illusion of investment returns by paying his investors using money from other investors, which we now know is called a Ponzi scheme because you've educated the audience. But the vast majority of the money was spent on himself. Henry spent the money on himself. He really liked buying expensive jewelry. One of those guys, like the guys dudes who just have like expensive necklaces and bracelets and stuff like that. And he really, really liked going to casinos and being treated like a high roller. Right? He's betting a lot, but the treatment of being a high roller is kind of what fed his ego. And it's even worse when you're gambling with other people's money, but that's what he was doing. Okay. He also claimed, and this was a big thing for a lot of his investors, that Titanium Capital's profits are all going to be donated to the blind and handicapped.
This guy didn't miss a beat. He checked every single box.
And something for everyone.
Right.
Right? Something for everyone. Many of his victims financially devastated. Several of the victims at his sentencing, we'll get there obviously, reported losing their retirement accounts and personal savings that they relied on for like food and medication. Eventually, there wasn't enough money coming in to pay out the old investors. We got $6 million in losses, give or take a few bucks for the Ponziing 200 investors. Important to know, he was legal here in the U.S., but he's not a U.S. citizen. He's a Lebanese citizen. So when he finishes his prison sentence, back to Lebanon, right? So you can take restitution off the table because you can't get blood from a turnip. Mm-hmm. How much time are you going to give this guy, Henry Abdo?
144 months.
144 months is 12 years in prison, if my math is right. Talk to me about that.
I mean, I think that there's a lot of victims. I think they were vulnerable victims. I think that it's sophisticated means. I think that he's across the board, it's just, he's just doing all it's, he's using, the court doesn't like it when you use religion.
They frown on that.
Yeah. Or you use the religion or a charitable institution or the government in furtherance of your crime. They're not a fan of that. I mean, there's just across the board, it's just, he's lying about being licensed. He's taking advantage of I don't know if I'm not sure if he would get an enhancement for position of trust, but it's possible. Yeah. And I think so. I think 144 is fair. And I think a bunch of people stood up and cried and screamed, and he took their life savings. And even though some of those people, listen, there's just no 100% investment. Yeah. You can't really guarantee any guarantee. If anybody said, "Oh, I guarantee you 14% return," no.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that a treasury bill or a treasury bond is about the closest thing to a safe investment that has no risk, but the rewards are going to be low, right? The return you're going to get on that's like 2-3%.
That's the government, though.
Yeah, right? But it's still an investment vehicle.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying if it's a private company where some guy's telling you, I can guarantee you 22% return, you can tell you right now, you're already breaking the law.
When I was an FBI agent, I used to tell people in my speeches that if I can convince the public that there's no such thing as low risk and high reward, I would have been like the Maytag repairman, sitting around waiting for the phone to ring. But that just ain't necessarily so. High risk comes with high reward. Your guess is 12 years. Henry Abdo got 14 years. So you nailed it.
Ooh!
Boom! Coming back.
Yeah. Tom doesn't care at all. He didn't care if I'm even
I'm
if I win.
I'm rooting for you. I'm just the guy who asked the questions. You're the contestant on your own show. Okay. See, we kind of switched it. Normally you would have someone do a game show, but the game show here is the guest comes on and asks you questions.
If someday we make it big, we'll get we'll buy out the baby photographer next door. We'll knock out the wall. We'll do another podcast studio where it's set up like a game show.
Like ding ding ding.
We'll get 3 contestants and you can read the things and we'll all be like,
you and 2 of your criminal buddies
hit the button. Yeah. If I can keep them out of jail.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Well, you got a pretty good
matter of fact, do you know what? Oh my gosh, let me show you this. Did you ever see this guy? I just did it. He got over 200,000 views. Was it a 3-hour video? No, 2-hour video.
How recently? That's pretty recent.
Recent.
I'm sure I see it when I scan past to see how I'm doing in comparison to your other guys.
Well, you don't have to worry about him anymore.
We'll be back in jail.
And I don't mean I mean pulled over. He had ice, a trafficking amount of ice. Oh. Keep in mind, he's already gone to prison as to federal prison. That's where I met him, and as an armed career criminal. So he just got hit for trafficking. Ice. Just got hit with a level of trafficking ice and a weapon. Armed career criminal.
Yeah.
And Viagra. And a hot blonde that he had with him. I don't think
he was in charge of the Viagra, right?
She wasn't. I don't think so. But I think the way I feel is if you mix the Viagra and the ice and the blonde,
interesting.
She was this close to having a really good night. But
I took
didn't work
Viagra
out that
once.
way.
I got it stuck in my throat and woke up with a stiff neck.
Anyway, yeah, I can't believe it. Like he did this. Yeah, but so he won't be on the show.
Well,
he won't be on the show. But maybe Zach will get out. We get Zach and one other guy do the game show.
Get Zach and Boziak comes back from Cambodia.
Yeah. My buddy Zach Boziak.
Yeah, I know him. I follow him on social media.
Oh, he's in Cambodia now.
He moved from Thailand to Cambodia?
Yeah, he's going to go back to Thailand.
Yeah, I thought he was digging tunnels in Thailand with all the women. Yeah.
They don't. They only let you stay for so long. They're like, yeah, listen.
I think they just make you cross the border and come back.
Well, no, they do. But then he did that every 60 days or something. Then when he went the last time, they were like, you now have to leave for 6 months. He said the laws are it's constantly changing.
I would think they would want his money.
That's what I said. That's what I would think.
It would be really good to see this show with you and Zach competing. Like Tom's the host and you and Zach are competing.
I bet you could buy a buzzer off of Amazon from China. It goes beep, or whatever, whoever buzzes in first. Although buzzing in first doesn't really make sense. It's more like a Final Jeopardy. You both write it down and hold up your cards.
Yeah, that's a better one.
You scheduled, I'll be here. I'll host it.
Well,
we got to get Jack. We got to get Zach out of jail first. I told you, all these guys.
I watch your show, man, every now and then. Not the whole episode, but most of it. You got a lot of criminals in your Rolodex.
Yeah, we'll find somebody.
Yeah, bring in that blonde lady. She was great.
Yeah, where's she? Tennessee?
She's Georgia, I think.
Oh, Georgia.
It's a short drive.
Yeah, it's a short drive.
Yeah, you guys can compete against each other. Us three together, be magic. Absolute magic. I like her. All right. What do you think about the life coaching industry? You ever meet a life coach or deal with a life coach?
Yes, we've interviewed quite a few life coaches.
Yeah, talk to me about life coaches. What are your thoughts on that industry?
It's just silly. I find it silly, but these guys like what's the guy? I don't want to say anybody's name. They go through like they'll go through some whatever. I don't know. They go through some stuff. Mm-hmm. They go in the military. They get out. They have some. They don't quite. It's like they can never. The guys that I've interviewed, they never seem to be able to get their life together. And then when they finally stop doing drugs and get their life together,
they're going to tell you how to do it.
They're going to tell you how to run your fucking life. It's like you're not running a successful business. You just happen to stop doing drugs, and now you can pay your bills. And now you're gonna
I've known a lot of life coaches.
Yeah.
And there's none of them I would trust to organize, in my sock drawer, much less my life.
Right. Wes Watson's you know who Wes Watson is?
I know the name. I don't know the name.
He's a life coach. Like, come on, anybody can. He's tatted up. He's done like 10 years in prison.
Yeah.
If you're a life coach, anybody could be one.
I met one life coach that explained to me, she's also a kind of clinical psychotherapist. And in her state, there is a maximum to the amount you can charge to be a clinical psychotherapist. Like it's a regulated industry there, you know, the license and all that. And so I don't know what it is, say it's $400 an hour or whatever. And that's the cap. But if she's being a life coach to someone, there's no cap and she can charge them more.
Ridiculous. So if you're a licensed professional, you have a cap.
Yeah.
But if you're an unlicensed
cowboy.
Yeah, cowboy, there's no cap.
Yeah. Well, 65-year-old Rodney Dean Buckle was a life coach in Las Vegas. And he had a coaching business under the name of Rod United. Hey, man, I'm Rod. You want to know how to? I'm gonna break it down for you on how you got to be living your life. Rod United. He could straighten out your life, and he also held himself out as a financial advisor. So he could not only straighten out your life, but he could straighten out your finances, Matt Cox. He'd invest your money for you and make you rich.
Oh, all I have to do is kind of just write him a check?
Well, you're getting there. And recurring theme today, he promised his clients 100% returns on their money. He's going to double your money.
Annually? Or monthly?
I don't think...
Let's go annually.
I think you just get your money back after he doubles it.
Okay.
Many of his clients were elderly, and they gave him amounts ranging from $100 to $700,000 to invest on their behalf. So he's got a wide range. Again, he has no license or training in investments or finance, and he never really told them what he would be investing their money in. But he's going to invest their money. But what he did with the money is he invested $2.4 million from his clients in sports book betting in Las Vegas, where he lived anyway.
Sheesh.
Yeah. To his credit, he only lost $283,000 of that money, which is better than most Las Vegas gamblers' fare.
Yeah.
Right. So he is giving people returns back with the winnings, but the net loss, if he did all the books between his winnings and his losings, he's $283,000 short. I'm just a little short. I'm missing $283,000.
I mean, if I was investors, I'd be happy. At least they could have lost everything.
Yeah. All right, so this one's a little different because the case was investigated by the Las Vegas police and prosecuted locally. We don't do a lot of local crimes here, but I thought it might be an interesting little curveball for us in our conversation today. And the locals seem to have done a good job with it. You don't always get that with local police and white-collar crime, but the Vegas police know their way around casino records. That's for goddamn sure. So he has to go to prison and pay his victims restitution of $283,000. That's the shortfall. And so how much time did a Las Vegas judge give this guy for a $283,000 loss? Throwing you a little curveball here with the local judge and local crime in a very crime-ridden city of Las Vegas. But he is a life coach.
Let's go with 2 years. 24 months?
24 months, that's your guess?
Yeah.
We'll move this along. The sentence, 1 year in prison.
1 year?
1 year.
I thought about 1 year, but
Yeah.
yeah. Just because okay. Yeah, no.
At some point, looking at a picture of Rodney Dean Buckle is a treat.
What? Can we see
All right,
him?
that's it. Look them up.
I want to know the comfort level from 0 to 100 that you feel when you look at Rodney Dean Buckle about his ability to solve your problems and invest your money. Let me see.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
him.
He screams financial responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He does. I'm ready to write him a check right now. Which institution is he in? No, he did 1 year. He's already out.
I'm sure he's out. He's out. He's probably still life coaching.
Ridiculous.
They can't take that away from you.
And he's a life coach.
He's a life coach. I bet he imagine the people he was able to help in prison.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Can you imagine?
What's funny is that he received a discount for being a pretty good sports gambler. Think about it. Had he lost it all, he would have gotten more time.
Yeah.
What a world we live in. You're a painter,
I am.
which means you are a man of great imagination.
I am.
You are. So I want you to imagine this. Wouldn't it be amazing if we lived in a world where we could power our homes and vehicles with biodegradable waste? So you could charge your phones, maybe your Teslas, with rotting banana peels, rotting apples.
Mm-hmm.
What a world that would be.
It would be great.
It'd be so good. So good. And that was the promise of a company called Alternative Energy Holdings, run out of Euclid, Ohio, by 65-year-old Jonathan Freeze. Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze. He was going to build energy plants that ran off of biodegradable waste, and he started selling short-term notes with high interest rates to fund this infrastructure project.
Okay. What do you know what the rate of return
Oh,
was?
I happen to know the name, rate of return, and all that. Also, to give everyone a sense of comfort, he personally guaranteed the investments.
There you go. No way you can lose.
It's coming out of my own pocket if you lose your money. I'm Mr. Freeze. I actually don't have the interest rates, but they were high.
Right. Unreasonably high?
I think they were probably high, certainly higher than you would get else in other investments, but I don't think it was like triple your money in 90 days, or I'd have that information. He brought in $2 million from 22 individual investors.
Okay.
Who were excited to make some real money turning organic waste into energy. They were men of imagination as well, just like you, Matt Cox. He said that the money would go toward building this green energy plant. Spoiler alert, it didn't. He used the investor funds to go gambling and to buy designer clothing and eat at expensive restaurants. No money was repaid. Nothing was Ponzi'd back to the victims. And the money did not go to a green energy plant. So everyone's dream of running their Tesla on a Apple Core went right down the toilet with their money.
I feel like you're mocking Tesla owners.
No, Tesla's real technology. I mean, a Tesla will run. But try plugging that Tesla into a machine with a bunch of rotting banana peels in it, basically a compost bin, and you're going to have issues. The FBI and the postal inspectors joined forces to investigate this case jointly, and Mr. Freeze was charged with fraud. He pled guilty. Now, the likelihood of coming up with $2 million in restitution seems pretty remote. but the likelihood of him serving time in prison was a very real reality. The question for you, Matt Cox, is how much time is Mr. Freeze, the man of great imagination, going to do in prison?
41 months.
41
No way,
months. You seem
that's a
real.
lot.
Yeah.
That's a
You
lot.
seem
That's a
fixated on that
lot.
number.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm gonna
Again,
go
$2 million.
Yeah, I don't know. $2 million. It's
22 investors, though.
22 investors. Yeah, these are I think 40. I think 41. 37 months. I'm gonna go 37 months.
37 months?
Am I going the wrong way? Stop.
There's no right way, wrong way. You got to follow your heart.
We don't know if he had a criminal record.
I don't get that impression.
41, 37, 36 months. 36 months.
Wow. I'm getting whiplash.
36 months.
36 months.
Yeah.
Nice, even 3 years, in and out.
Yes.
Same amount of time it would take to go to law school, 3 years.
Yes. Is law school 3 years?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, unless you're going night school, which takes longer than that. But if you're going full-time law school, it's a 3-year program. And you're thinking he did 3 years for stealing $2 million from 22 investors, which is 36 months, right? Just making sure we're on the same page because you're moving.
31 months.
Oh, Jesus. We were almost there.
31 months.
31 months.
31 months.
You think the difference between 36 and 31?
months. I'm going 36 months. That's it. 36
Are you
months.
having a stroke?
36 months.
36 months. Man,
Stop talking.
I'm going to break it to you gently.
Okay.
You'd be right either way. 30 months is the sentencing. So 36 and 31 are both within 20% of 30 months. He did 30 months in prison.
Okay.
You're good, buddy. You're good. I think that caffeine has really hit your hypothalamus at this point.
Okay.
You're falling asleep a half hour ago. You drink half of a Ghost caffeinated drink.
Well, it wasn't helping that Colby was going.
What are you doing? What are you doing? People have gone to prison for game show fraud. I didn't know this was a team sport.
No.
Well, after the last time, it was we had to wave the white flag.
You want to see the boss win?
He could have helped me out the last time. Jesus, he let me fucking just twist in the wind.
All right, we're doing good.
Yeah.
We're doing good.
Yeah. No more.
Story 9 of 12.
9 or 12.
Matt Cox, Elvis fan, yes or no?
Yes, we even interviewed a guy that bought one of Elvis's airplanes
I heard.
and turned it into a bus.
And that episode went gangbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. But I'm curious about you. Are you an Elvis fan?
Yeah, have you ever just listen to his music?
No, I'm not looking out. I was really into Elvis in my 20s.
Yeah.
I still like Elvis.
Yeah, I like him. I like it.
In fact, there's a theory out there that the world can be separated into 2 types of people: Elvis people and Beatles people. Which would you fall under? You can like them both, but you're either an Elvis man or a Beatles man. Which are you?
I mean, I would probably pick Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
I just, because I don't think there's any of his songs that I don't think are good or where there's some songs from the Beatles where I'm just like Sgt. Pepper and stuff like that. There's some of them that I'm just not interested.
The more kind of orchestrated.
Yeah, I'm just not interested.
You ever go to Graceland?
No. Where is Graceland? Is it in
Memphis?
Memphis?
Yeah.
No.
I went to Graceland in my 20s. It's a great tour.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, it's like whether you're really into Elvis or not, you walk away kind of appreciating the mark he left on society. Did you see the Elvis movie a couple years ago? Tom Hanks played Colonel. It was a good movie.
I mean, I think I probably saw 5 or 10 minutes of it.
Yeah, it was good.
Was it.
It was good. I mean, my son had no kind of frame of reference for Elvis, and he walked away saying, that was really great. I learned a lot about Elvis. Yeah.
Did you ever see the one on Johnny Cash?
Yeah, Walk the Line. That was good.
It was a great movie. I thought
really
it was
good.
great.
I love it. Those music biopics, I'm a sucker for them. They all seem to have the same story, though, right? Like Upstart, he's doing really good. Then he finds drugs, and then he gets out of it, and then here he is. And Freddie Mercury, the Queen one, they all have the same timeline. Let's get back to Elvis. He had a doctor in Nashville who used to provide him with the prescription pills that fed his addiction and eventually probably led to his cardiac arrest when he died on the toilet. He died on a toilet?
Yeah. I know. Not the way you want to go.
Yeah, not the way you want to be remembered. Despite being high as a kite, he was a worker, man. Okay, dig this. Toward the end of his career, Elvis put on, let this number sink in, 837 consecutive performances at the Las Vegas Hilton. Now, at what is now the Las Vegas Hilton, high as a kite on pills most of the time. And when he's in Vegas, he had a doctor named Dr. Elias Ghanem, who, as the story goes, worked hard to get Elvis off the pills. He had another doctor in Memphis who was kind of feeding his pill habit. But Elias Ghanem, as the story goes, was working hard to wean Elvis off the pills during his Las Vegas time. But it was like kind of too little, too late. Elvis died at age 42 of cardiac arrest while sitting on the toilet. And the pills clearly had something to do with that. Now, Dr. Elias had a kid, Elias Jr., and he's got a problem on his hands. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
Little Elias solicited $400,000 from investors to finance a startup restaurant in New York City that he said was going to be the hottest place to see and be seen. But instead of putting that money toward this fancy restaurant in New York, he spent it on jewelry and renting a luxury condo here in Florida. Okay? That's scheme number one, $400,000 out the door. Little Elias had scheme number two. Okay? He started a cannabis distribution company. Are we allowed to say cannabis?
Yes.
Yeah. Called Viva Capital, like kind of playing off of Elvis's Viva Las Vegas. Again, this is Elvis's part-time doctor's son, who's very important that he latch on to the his kind of dotted line to Elvis. Viva Capital took over $1 million in investors for his cannabis distribution company. The largest investor was a retired police officer who invested $280,000 that the cop received after he was shot multiple times during an armored car robbery and lost his arm. Oh my God. Okay, it's a pretty sympathetic victim there. Now, Elias did not actually start a cannabis distribution company, and he may be the first guy we've ever talked about on the show who's going to prison for not selling weed.
Okay.
Let that sink in, right? Had he actually done it and the business failed, no problem. But if you're not even going to start a cannabis distribution company with the $1 million you took in, including $250,000 from a one-armed cop, then he's got a legal problem on his hands. He ended up spending that investor money on a luxury waterfront home in Babylon, New York.
So he's got two homes now.
Oh, yeah. My impression is that the Babylon home was a purchase and the Florida place was a rental.
Okay.
I think. So being 2 degrees away from the king of rock and roll did nothing to dissuade the U.S. Attorney's Office to bring charges against him following an FBI investigation, to which young Elias, Elvis's part-time doctor's son,
Which means nothing. Okay.
pled guilty.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know it's an algebra problem here with basically 2 scams, but how much time do you think little Elias got? How much time is he going to be doing the jailhouse rock, Matt Cox?
What do they call that? A Rule 11 where they combine the two jurisdictions? You allow them to combine the two jurisdictions? Mm-hmm.
I don't know his criminal history, but I'm going to guess that he had a checkered past.
And it's $2 million?
We have a $400,000 loss from the restaurant scam, and then we have a $1 million loss from the cannabis scam, with one kind of major, very sympathetic victim who I'm assuming spoke in court because he's all over the news in this thing.
Okay. I'm going to go 84 months.
84 months.
Yeah. Because if he's got, because I'm thinking if he's like category 3 or 4, like the guidelines very quickly shoot up.
Yeah. What's 84 divided by 12? How many years?
84, what is this? Is that 8 years? No, wait. What?
84 divided by 12 is 7 years.
7 years.
7 years is your guess. That they're giving this guy 7 years for $1 million plus $400,000, $1.4 million.
Yeah, I'm not so concerned about the money. The money, I would say he's going to get, let's say, 3 years. It's the criminal history category that probably is what
like I said, I suspect he has a checkered past.
Yeah, would jack it up.
All right, so your guess is 7 years.
Yeah.
You going to stay on that, or you want to talk it out a little more?
No help. I gave him up. I gave him up last time, so he's not going to help me again.
I didn't search up this one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stay there.
The correct answer, Matt Cox.
Yeah.
What do you got? Nothing but net. 7 years.
No. Oh, 7 years. Nice.
Nothing but net.
Nice.
Nice. See?
No help.
No help. No help. Was there help?
No.
No,
There was
no.
no.
Okay, just curious.
He didn't
Yeah.
look it up.
It's your show.
No.
Yeah.
Yep. 7 years of jailhouse rock. Sort of a weird story. I'm told this happens all the time. You're not allowed to own a firearm in the state of Florida, right?
I'm not allowed to own one anywhere in the United States.
Because that would be felon in possession of a firearm.
Absolutely.
Right?
But
But
really bugs the crap out of me, by the way.
were you a gun guy before?
No, well, I did have a concealed weapons permit.
Yeah.
And, it's funny when you take that class, like if you think you want to carry a weapon and then you take the class, you're like, yeah, I don't even want this. Like,
The liability is huge. If
yeah.
something goes sideways. Yeah.
Like I would probably keep it in my glove box or keep it in my my dresser drawer, but I'm not going to I'm not going to go anywhere with it. Does it make sense? Like if because it very quickly they let you know what a horrible, like you said, what the liability is for you to have to explain, oh, why'd you have your concealed weapons permit on, or concealed weapons? Oh, well, because I went to this place that I thought there might be a problem. Okay, well, now you have a problem.
Yeah.
If you thought there was going to be a problem and you need a gun, what the hell did you go there for? As opposed to I was moving it or something and I happened to have it, or I had it on me and I wasn't in danger or whatever. Regardless, I did have one. I went to the firing range maybe a dozen times over the course of a couple of years. When I went on the run, I didn't have one because by then I was as soon as I became a felon, I got rid of it. But since then, and since getting married, my concern is that I have a wife, and what happens if somebody's banging on the front door, or kicks in the front door? What happens? It's not that I want to be a gun-toting nut or anything, but I want to have a choice here. I want to have give me a fighting chance.
Yeah, it's like a smoke detector. You don't. You never want to have to use it, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Absolutely.
Florida's sort of interesting though, isn't it? Because you used to need a permit to get a gun,
Yeah,
and
now
then
you
we went constitutional carry, and now no one needs a permit to have a gun. And now for a concealed carry, and I don't know if you know, like 2 weeks ago we just went to open carry, which means that that if I was to carry a gun, I no longer need to conceal it under my shirt. Or if I want to take an AK-47 and strap it across my chest and walk down the street, that's perfectly legal.
Yeah.
We are now an open carry, constitutional carry state.
Yeah, I think an armed society is a polite society. I think people would be a lot politer if everybody was armed.
There's an argument to be made. I mean, I don't have strong opinions either way about gun control, but I do think that occasionally a good guy with a gun can stop a bad guy with a gun, especially if there's proper training.
Yeah. And I think if you're a bad guy, no matter how many laws there are, you're going to be able to get a hold of it.
Yeah. One of my Instagram followers hit me up and asked me what my opinion was about Florida's open carry. And I said, you know what? If we're going to have everyone with a gun in Florida, I'd rather know who has a gun than who doesn't have a gun. And so if you want to expose your gun at the Waffle House, it's neither here nor there to me. Let's talk about, but this is something that happens a lot, and I want to set the scene. People in Florida are gun people. It's a local culture. People in Florida often show up at the airport with a gun that has been thrown into their carry-on bag, and they walk right through TSA, and it gets detected. My understanding is that TSA is so accustomed to this that they explain to you that even though in Florida you can have a gun, you can't certainly have it past airport security, turn around, go away. Okay?
Right.
I think that's what happens. Don't quote me on that. Right. Certainly don't test that out, inside True Crime viewers. But from talking to people in my Instagram page who commented, say it happens all the time at TSA in Florida.
I had heard one time, and I don't know if this is true, but if you go and you declare the gun, that they'll secure it from you and allow, like if you have to travel from one place to another.
Pick it up when you get back, or
no, that they'll actually like put it somewhere in the plane or something and let you fly there.
I mean, there's checked luggage. I can go to the counter and
That's what I mean.
say, hey, listen, I'm flying with my gun. Here's all the reasons why this is legal. Here it's in a locked box, and it's going to be. And I think you pay extra for it. So there's a way to transport a gun from point A to point B.
Yeah, you still don't have it on you. They kind of remove you from it, right? Don't they stick it somewhere, and then when you get back off, they're like here.
Right. So 26-year-old Abraham Yacoub of Lakeland, Florida, was recently traveling from Tampa, right here, where we are right now, to Las Vegas. Okay. And for reasons that remain unclear to me, Abraham had a Glock 19 in his backpack. And then it went through TSA's X-ray machine at Tampa Airport. He is able, instead of it being segregated, he's able to be on the other. He realizes as it's going through, oh my God, what have I done? You know, that feeling that you get like, oh my God, something, and he panics. Before TSA could segregate his bag for a hand search, he grabs it and goes running into the men's room on the other side of security, in the secure area. He's in the bathroom.
So bad.
Abraham takes the pistol out, wraps it in toilet paper, and then throws the loaded gun into the men's room trash can wrapped in toilet paper. He comes walking out of the bathroom with his backpack, and TSA is like, "Hey, you, come here." And they go, "We need to see inside your backpack." "No problem, sir."
Right.
Shows him inside the backpack. No gun. And they had seen the image on the X-ray machine.
Yeah.
They're not dummies, as clear as day. And so TSA, who is not their first rodeo, dispatches an officer to the bathroom where they just saw him walk out of, and then comes back with a loaded pistol wrapped in toilet paper that he had thrown in the trash can. And he was arrested and handed off to FBI for further investigation. There's no evidence whatsoever that Abraham was trying to do something bad. Okay? There's no, Abraham Yaqub, I don't know what ethnicity that is, but you can imagine that the FBI took a closer look at him based on some fear that this was some kind of terrorist plot. No indication of that whatsoever. He was just another Florida guy who forgot to stash his gun in the car before going through security, but he has to plead guilty to this airport security violation in federal court. The cover-up was worse than the crime.
Right.
So we're at his sentencing hearing. Abraham's got an attorney. The attorney argues that no one was placed at risk by him putting that gun wrapped in toilet paper in the garbage can because people do not routinely dig through those bins. Why would you? That's the argument that the defense attorney made. But I'm curious from you if you think that argument resonated with the judge.
Was he a felon?
In 2020, he was convicted of trying to sneak a handgun onto a plane in Miami.
Things just changed.
I'm so sorry.
I was about to say probation.
I missed that pertinent fact. So, which I imagine was probably a felony back then.
Yeah.
So he has felon in possession of a firearms issues, but he also has the every dog gets one bite, and this is his second bite issue.
So I think that we'll know because I mean the minimum you get is 3 years if you have a gun.
Okay.
In federal court, if I get caught with a gun, I get 3 years.
Okay.
If I get caught with a gun because I'm a felon in possession of a firearm, that's it. It's 3 years.
Okay, good. You're logicking your way into this.
If there's drugs involved, then I'm going to get 5 years.
Okay. No dope.
No. So he's already. So I would think he's at least going to get. I mean, he's an idiot for running and doing all that stuff. I still think it boils down to 3 or 4 years, roughly 3 or 4 years.
Pick a number. Pick a number.
39 months.
39 months is your guess?
Yeah.
So that's what, 3.5? Wait, no, three and 3 months. The correct answer, Abraham Yaqub, frequent flyer, 42 months.
42 months.
You're there.
Am I there?
You're totally there.
Yeah,
you're
I'm there.
Good job. Good
So,
job.
have you read about Abraham recently in the last 19 weeks?
We have an update.
No.
What happened to Abraham Yaqub?
So I searched this guy up because I'm like, oh, same town. I wonder if there's anyone that's mutual friends. Well, there's not. But in the Lakeland Gazette, this is on May 28th, so half a year ago. Lakeland body shop owner admits to $181,000 bank fraud scheme. Abraham Yaqub pleaded guilty to depositing checks from multiple times, then withdrawing, transferring, blah, blah, blah. $181,000 bank fraud scheme. As a part of his plea deal, Yaqub has forfeited $181,000, the total amount losses resulting from the scheme. He now faces up to 30 years in federal prison. A sentencing date has not yet been scheduled.
He'll get 5.
Is it a state charge or a federal charge?
I think I've read something about FBI. The FBI conducted the investigations. Assistant
Typically, once
US
you're
attorney.
federal, they kind of keep picking it up.
Abraham,
He just got out too, right?
Yeah.
Like, he got out. This guy can't. He can't. He's what do they call him? The guys that they just keep getting in trouble in prison. They can't do right. He just can't. They're like, hey, what's up? Can't do right. I can't call it.
Okay, yeah, September 16th. Okay, here we go. Lakeland man sentenced to prison. So this is for both of you guys.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait, let's gap. Let me think.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, it's less fun in this seat.
60. Let's go 5 years.
Was 180,000 was the fraud loss?
181,500.
But we also know he's been arrested multiple times.
I get it. Let me
Which
just
prosecutors say was the loss to the financial institutions he victimized.
48 months.
Let's see. So it's running consecutive, so I don't know if that matters or not, like in the sentencing.
Yeah.
Oh, consecutive is back to back, isn't it? Instead of concurrent. Yeah, consecutive's adding on to your
Yeah,
sentence.
yeah.
Concurrent
Okay.
is overlapping.
Well, I'm almost positive.
But then so they're saying that's included in the.
No, I'm saying it's after he gets done serving the time on the gun through the airport
court,
charge.
The court ordered the term of imprisonment must run consecutively to Yacombe's current federal prison sentence.
So he's going to do some more time.
additional
I said
time.
48. You said something like 50 something.
Yeah. But we don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it is 2 years.
24 months.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm closer.
You're both wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not focus on that.
Again, I know you're not a big sports fan, but you familiar with sort of the massive market in sports memorabilia?
Yes.
Talk to me about what your experience is with that. It's sort of it's a real interesting subculture, like people who are way into that stuff. Baseball card shows, mitts, bats signed by Johnny Bench, etc.
Yeah, yeah. And then, the cards, collecting the baseball cards, actually there was a guy named Anthony Curcio who, you know who that is? Does that sound familiar?
I've heard. It sounds real familiar.
Yeah, who actually robbed a bank.
Oh, is it with all the same outfits?
Yes, the outfits guy. Great story. But so he got re-indicted. And I met him in prison. He got re-indicted after he got out of prison. And what he was doing, or what the government says he was doing, he says he wasn't doing this, is buying. I'm gonna say, was it baseball cards? Or was it baseballs? I'm going to say baseball cards, I think. It was some memorabilia. And he was buying, I guess there's different levels. And so he was buying a level down. They said he was buying, like, let's say it's A, B, C, D. I don't know what they are, but say he said he was buying a C, and then he was packaging it as an A and reselling it. And the difference is $6,000, $7,000, $12,000 difference. One's $5,000, and the next one up is 12,000 or something, whatever, depending on the whatever it is. And so he'd buy them, and then he'd say, hey, this is a B rated such and such, or this is an A rated. And of course he'd get the money and then send them the thing, and they get there and they'd be like, I don't know, this isn't quite what, but it's subjective.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of fraud and counterfeiting in the world of sports memorabilia too. In fact, FBI Chicago, when I was there, a friend of mine made a big case on during the Michael Jordan era in the 1990s, there's a guy who had like a giant garage filled with like Michael Jordan jerseys, and he had like a team of urban dudes who could sign Michael Jordan's name on like the 23 of the number on the Nike jersey perfectly. Absolute perfect forgery of Michael Jordan's signature. And they were selling those. And the entire garage was filled with sporting goods that was being falsified with signatures and things like that, and then sold on the secondary market for sports memorabilia at sports memorabilia stores and shows and stuff like that. And it was this massive fraud that got shut down. I remember doing the search warrant on it. And so the FBI seized like hundreds, maybe thousands of pieces of sports equipment, like baseballs, basketballs, jerseys. And the question is, at the end of the case, what do we do with it? All forgeries, right? Bad guys go to prison. At the end of the case, what are we going to do with all this stuff? And what we ended up doing is reaching some kind of agreement with the defense attorneys to allow us to donate it to the Chicago public schools, but we had to go through and like wipe out all the fake signatures and stuff. And so, Chicago public schools got basketballs from the FBI that year from that case.
I was gonna say I saw another one, by the way. There's another one where the guy was doing baseballs that were signed by Babe Ruth and they'd age them, beat them up, and then they actually got somebody who was like the grandson of Mickey Mantle or something to open up an authentication company.
Yeah.
And then he would authenticate their stuff and put it on his website.
Like a certificate or whatever.
Yeah, like a certificate of authenticity from, this guy who was, once again, two people removed. And this guy was making just tons of money. They did it for years, and then eventually they got busted.
Yeah, the case agent in this case got to interview all the actual players from the Bulls whose signatures were there because he needed them as witnesses in the case. And so Jordan would say,
I'm going to need your signature.
Yeah, Jordan would say, like, or Pippen and all these kind of famous Chicago Bulls would say, yeah, it looks very good to my signature, but I actually do it at a more steeper angle. Or I never signed the 2, I signed the 3. And so they were able to take a look at the stuff and explain why that's not, in fact, their signatures. I don't think the case went to trial, so those athletes never had to testify. But it was pretty cool for this agent who was a big sports fan to get to do this.
I'm sure.
So on the topic of sports memorabilia, 55-year-old Mike Conteal of Las Vegas was a collector of rare sports memorabilia. That was his thing. His claim to fame was purchasing Jackie Robinson's contract with the Brooklyn Dodgers, and he received a lot of publicity for buying that piece of sports memorabilia, the actual piece of paper. So Mike spun this into a business concept. He was going to basically create an eBay for sports memorabilia called Collectors Cafe. That was going to be the website name. And he told investors that he had personally, and this is a big lie, but he told investors that he had personally invested millions of dollars into the company and that he would run this for love of the game without drawing a salary. Okay. And somebody with that much commitment to a business is attractive to investors. None of these claims are true, mind you, but Mike was able to raise $6.1 million from investors to get the Collectors Cafe website off the ground. And he stole $6 million of that living a lavish lifestyle in his hometown of Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. Okay. He bought a Cadillac, paid for private school tuition for his kids, rented mansions throughout America for luxury vacations. Like an Airbnb kind of guy, but he's going to rent a mansion. He's not going to stay in a condo. He's not going to stay at the Hampton. He's going to stay in a mansion that he rents with someone else's money. He also fails to pay taxes for the 3 years that he was spending his investors' money like a drunken sailor, which obviously raises the eyebrows of the IRS. Investors aren't getting paid, and they can't help but notice that there's no Collectors Cafe website out there selling stuff.
All he has to do is start the business and make it
Allow it
look
to fail,
like, let it fail. Like, buy some stuff, put some forgeries up there, put some whatever, pretend that they were sold cheap, and you could fake the whole thing that it just failed. It just failed, man.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
He investors call the Securities and Exchange Commission, as we spoke about before. The SEC has no criminal authority. They loop the FBI into this thing. Okay, Mike is no fool. He has a good understanding of this freight train headed his way. So he legally changes his name to Michaeli Contilai. It used to be Mike Conteal.
You want to take the fool back? No fool thing back?
And he flees to Russia.
Okay.
With his investors' money. I'm gone. I'm going to Russia. I'm no longer Mike Conteal.
I think the Russians don't.
Try to find Michaeli Contilai in Russia. Good luck, my friend. So the FBI gets an arrest warrant for Mike. The show goes on, even if he's not around. And he's an international fugitive at that point. The FBI enlists the help of Interpol. I think a lot of people don't understand what Interpol really is. And they're like, I want to be a special agent with Interpol. There's no such thing.
Right.
Interpol is just a clearinghouse, right? And it's a way that if I have for international law enforcement to communicate with one another. And they put out these things called red notices, which sounds sexy, but it's really just a notation that this guy is wanted by U.S. criminal authorities. And so any Interpol nation, when he's if he's traveling through Germany, let's say, and he leaves Russia and goes to Germany for a weekend to go to Oktoberfest or whatever, at customs or whatever border they have with each other, he runs it, and it comes up that there's an Interpol red notice. They arrest him, contact, blah, blah, blah. And that's pretty much what happened. Mike was nabbed by German authorities going into Germany when he was traveling through Europe, and he was extradited back to the USA to finally face justice on this investment fraud charges. He pleads guilty to the fraud charges. And so we're dealing with about $6 million loss. Do I have a number of victims? Don't know that I do, but a lot. Let's say, a lot of victims. And he also has this inconvenient thing that knowing that an investigation took place, he basically took off to Russia. Yeah. And he probably should have been cooling his jets in Russia, but he decided he wanted to see Germany to try on some lederhosen. How much time are you going to give Michaeli Contilai, also known as Mike Conteal? $6.1 million.
What you don't know? Do we know anything about his criminal history?
I don't. I don't. I don't think he had an extensive criminal history. I mean,
I don't know, 5-6 years. Let's see, 67 months.
67 months is your guess.
Yeah.
A long time.
Is it?
I don't know. I don't want to serve that much
6
time.
years.
You could do that standing on his head?
Yeah, that's 6
What
years.
was tougher, your first 6 years or your last 6 years?
First decade was the hardest.
Yeah.
No, probably the first 3-4 years.
Okay.
First 3-4 years.
Get
and after
acclimated?
that, yeah, then you kind of settle in and realize, hey, I better make a life here. Better get myself a routine, and
Yeah.
this is you're gonna be here a little bit.
Got it. Yep. Well, you guess again? 67?
67 months.
Okay, the correct answer is Mike Conteal was sentenced to 51 months in prison.
51 times.
You missed it.
61. Yep.
Yep. The World Cup is coming to the U.S. and Canada and Mexico. Did you know that?
Nice. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, we got the World Cup. You into soccer at all?
No.
Me neither.
No.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. A lot of people are.
Yeah. No, it's what's the most popular sport in the world.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I know.
People are really, really comfortable with 0-0 games. Did you know that you could bet on soccer? Like on these sports apps?
Bet on anything, yeah.
Yeah. A buddy of mine, I was talking to him, former prosecutor. We were hanging out in Tallahassee, and he's really into Premier League soccer in England. I can give a shit about it, but he's really into it. And he also bets on it. And I go, well, how do you bet on it? Like, is there a point spread? Like, if like a 1-point spread would be huge in soccer because a lot of games end up 0-0. And he goes, no, there are point spreads that on some of the games, but most of the time you bet odds. Like this guy's 3-2 this team's 3-2 to win, et cetera, like that. Just curious about soccer. And not much of a gambling angle on this one.
Has nothing to do with this.
Well, no, I mean, it is a soccer story, but it's not much of a gambling story.
I was in prison with a guy that was Peruvian, and he was a professional gambler.
Oh, okay.
And he
Sports or casino games or what?
casino games. Cards. Sorry, cards.
Like blackjack?
Blackjack.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
He explained the whole thing to us. He's a super interesting guy, but he and his buddies used to bet on soccer games, and he's like in Peru, like he named a different country down there. There's different levels. It's not like international. I mean, it's not like these are like whoever the main team is and whatever. Where those are
there's overlapping leagues. With
so these are lower leagues,
yeah.
Right? And so you can only bet so much. And he said they would go in and they would bribe the players to throw the games or to win don't win by more than this or do that. And then he would go and open up accounts, because when you open up an account, they would only let you bet so much. So he also owned a company where they did they sold stuff. And so he had like 200-300 people that worked for him. He'd go get a bunch of his employees to open up. They're Peruvian, they pay him nothing. Mm-hmm. And so they'll do anything. And Peru is also like a class society, right? Like you have like 4 or 5 different classes. Mm-hmm. I was not in the top class. I'm in the just below that. He's like, but your employees are basically just above the last class. He's like, they'll do anything. They're basically slaves.
Wow.
And I was like, gee, I mean, he was blatant about it. He's like, they do anything for money. Like they're starving. They lose their job. He said they could be dead in a month. Huh. And I was like, my God. Oh, he was brutal. We called him Perubaboo.
What was he in for?
Because he was in for extortion.
Oh boy!
So they would sell stuff on TV commercials, right? Mm-hmm. Late at night, and it would be what is it? COD. Yeah, so a lot of these guys, they convince them over the phone, like they'd get the ab roller. Right, like what she's buying for.
And then someone shows up at the house with the ab roller and says that'll be $15. You collect.
No, he's buying them for $15.
Okay.
They're doing COD for $250, and then so that they ship it to him. Mm-hmm. He goes, and then they're like, by that time, he said the guy he bought it at 2:00 in the morning a week ago. He's sobered up now. He's like, I don't want $250 for that. I don't want that. And then they go, oh, okay, and then they'd call the guy. He had a collection agency that would call the guy.
Yeah.
And because most of these guys are illegal, they would threaten to call ICE or to threaten to have a warrant placed on them, and then if they weren't a U.S. citizen, or they could lose their citizenship. Like these guys are all from other countries, and just terrify the hell out of them.
How much time did he get? Do you know?
He got like 4 years or 3 years. And what's so funny about it is like this whole indictment and everything happened, and he flew in one day to I think he got to Miami. I think it was like he got to Miami I think it was Miami, and they arrested him because he flew in he was going to go gamble. He was going to like fly in and then go to you fly into Miami and then you fly to Vegas or something.
He was a soccer guy, huh?
But one of the things he did was this, and he explained he'd go to his employees and get like 40 of them to open up accounts, and then he bet on all of those because he said they can't bet much on these lower ranking games.
Right.
And then they go bribe the guys to like, you guys are going to win, but you can't win by more than 2 points.
Wow.
And then they'd do that and they'd win, and he's like, oh, we'd rake up, like we'd make a ton of money. But I've told him before, like, bro, you got to come and do the podcast, because he had one story after another. He was like, absolutely not.
Yes.
Not doing that, because it's
Confessing.
well,
And it's also someone else would have lost money in that game. People have emotional interest in these soccer teams. It could create problems with them.
no, his real problem is his family.
I see.
Because your status is such a big deal. Like he didn't want anybody to know.
Well, that he'd gone to prison even.
Well, one was certainly doing this.
Yeah.
And going to prison. Like everybody in his family looks down on him because he's like a professional gambler. Like that's disgusting. Then he went to prison. His whole family is telling everybody that the American justice system, that they framed him, that like he's absolutely innocent, is what he's telling everybody. So when he goes back there, he's convinced, his family's convinced all of their friends that he's innocent.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not innocent, bro. You're guilty. Like you've told, like he's like they don't know that.
Yeah.
They don't know that. But yeah, that was one of the things he did. Like, I mean, these are like, it was, I hate to say it was pretty interesting.
Oh, without question. Yeah. It's fascinating stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be a great guest on the show if you could ever get him.
Old Peru-boo-boo.
Speaking of soccer, 33-year-old Adrian Kawuba was born in Uganda and then immigrated to Boston and founded a company called AK Sports.
Oh, good for her.
Him.
Oh.
Yeah, him. It's okay. Adrian could go either way, but he's a him.
Don't think of Rocky.
Don't misgender Adrian.
Okay.
Adrian began offering high-yield investment opportunities in African pro soccer events, promising people returns of 25 to 50% with a turnover of just a few months.
Perfectly reasonable,
Yeah.
as we've discussed.
The investments couldn't lose because they were personally guaranteed by this charismatic young entrepreneur.
Of course.
Adrian.
Of
right?
course.
So he takes in $2.3 million from investors. And the dirty little secret is that the money was not going to fund pro soccer, but rather to fund Adrian's luxurious lifestyle. Okay. He spent the investor money on a new Lexus, jewelry, designer clothing, and expensive vacations to escape Boston right here in beautiful Florida. Nice, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just good times.
Now, again, the early investors received their money back plus the guaranteed rates of return, and this helped Adrian's program go viral in Boston. But what nobody understood, Matt Cox, is that those investment returns were not being derived from African soccer events, but the principal investments of other investors in what we call, say it with me,
A Ponzi scheme.
Right. Okay. So this churning of funds is what he's doing here. And you're going to like these numbers. So he takes in $2.3 million, but he only kept and used $625,000 of that money.
So the rest of it went back to
The rest of it was
investors.
Ponzi'd back to investors.
Okay.
Right? So he took in $2.3 million under false pretenses, but the net loss to the victims in this case was only $625,000. Of course, the FBI investigated because they don't like Ponzi schemes. And he gets arrested and pleads guilty for fraud charges. They did seize his Lexus and jewelry, so you're going to get a little bit of recovery there, which really counts toward restitution, but not the sentencing guidelines loss. And he's a Ugandan citizen still, perfectly legal here in the U.S., but after he's done serving his time, however long that is, and that's up to you, Matt Cox, he's going back to Uganda. So I don't think anyone's going to be getting any restitution from young Adrian. How much time are you going to give this soccer lover?
36 months.
36 months. Feel very secure in that answer, don't you?
I feel good about 36 months.
Feel very good.
Yes.
36 months. You're going to stick to that.
Yes.
There's nothing I can push or pull or tell or ask that's going to make you change your mind. I just want to ask.
Do you know how much it is, Colby?
No, I don't.
Is this a conversation worth having, or should we?
Can I get it up and then down with the thumb? Something?
I haven't
36 months.
36 months is your guess. The correct answer. Drum roll, please. Adrian Kawuba was sentenced to 27 months in prison.
I still win.
And deportation.
I still win.
You lost this one.
What?
You lost the battle, but
Let's
you
not
won the war,
focus on
Matt
that.
Cox. You won the war.
Why are you talking about the past? Why are you bringing
We're
up the
gonna have
past?
to go back and tally up the official record.
Well,
we're gonna have to start adding some stakes to this thing. Like there
like
needs
what,
to be
push-ups?
punishment, or something,
Sounds like
Punishment? What do you mean punishment?
or reward.
There, let's go with the carrot.
I happen to know that you've been taking boxing classes.
I've taken two boxing classes. They were horrible.
We could duke it out for a special.
Hell no.
I got the reach.
I was going to say. God.
Celebrity boxing.
I look at Mike Tyson sometimes. I'll watch, like, they'll come up, and I'll see Mike Tyson go up against some guy who's like towering over him.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, Mike Tyson's about to, like, I'm looking at this. If I was Mike Tyson, I would be thinking, this dude's going to beat the tar off of me. And let me tell you something. Mike Tyson just smashes that dude left and right. And I think that's not really how it
much
works.
Power he generates.
That's not really how it works
Yeah.
in real life. I'd be like, what?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying boxing, though.
I'm not enjoying boxing. I didn't say that. It's horrible.
You don't like the boxing you've been doing?
No.
Oh, I thought you were into it.
No, I've said multiple times I'm not enjoying it. It's
Because it's achy.
I'm very achy, and also Jess loves it. She loves it. She gets so much joy. I walk out
Isn't it
of
nice
there.
to have something you guys can do together?
No, I walk out of there a beaten man, and I'm achy and tired. My back hurts, and my arms hurt, and my shoulders hurt, and she's all peppy and happy. It's very upset. That's part of the upset. That's part of what gets me upset is how excited she is to get up. She jumps out of bed in the morning. Come on, we're going boxing. I'm like, oh, enough. Stop.
Well, women's boxing has taken off as a sport.
This isn't even real boxing. It's almost like jazzercise or something. Like, we're not really boxing. We're punching a water bag. We're not. I'm not dangerous.
Do you wrap your hands?
End of this,
Do you wrap your hands before you put the gloves on?
We have like a glove inside of a glove.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
So it's not the old school, like, it looks
No,
like an
we
ace
don't-
bandage wrap around your wrist to keep things secure.
No, we don't have like what's the guy from Rocky? The guy, his trainer. Mickey's not there. We don't have Mickey there to come here, Rock.
You got a mouth guard?
No, there's no
Protect those chompers?
It's jazzercise. it's ridiculous. I'm not. Listen, at the end of 6 weeks, I am not going to be a lean. I might be lean, but I'm not going to be like a fighting machine.
I see you going out to bars and biker bars. Are you looking at me? You got a problem? You got
What?
a problem? You
What?
Just want
What?
to try it out. You got all these skills now.
What? Oh,
You got skills, man. Take them for a
I have
spin.
no skills after 2
Go
classes.
kick someone's ass.
Not going to happen. I'm just not a fighter like that.
Oh, man. But you got the fire inside your belly now.
Come on, let's wrap this up.
We're done. I'm done. That was 12 stories, and I will see you next time.
And I won.
You won.
Barely.
Yeah.
Well, and Colby's going to go
That
back.
sounds like we need a recount.
Going to go back.
Yeah, there might be some editorial.
There
notes.
might be. Yeah. Just edit it. Like, make it. Yeah. Whatever. No matter what. In the end, if you have to cut one out, you have to cut one out.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm going. Oh wait. Wait.
Can I plug?
Yeah. Of course. Tom Simon. Wait. No. Simon Investigate.
No, SimonInvestigations.com is my private investigative firm. Anyone from the Matt Cox Show who wants a free consultation, let me know. My specialty is fraud. So if you've been ripped off in a fraud or you're in litigation involving fraud and you need an expert witness, I would love to have a free consultation with you and talk about how I might be able to help. If you are part of a group, organization, or company that brings in outside speakers and you want someone to come speak to your sales force or your management team about how to use FBI behavioral science techniques to increase sales and up your game, I would love to talk to you about that as well. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.
Spoken like a true professional right there.
All right. Hey, you guys, I appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified of videos just like this. Also, we are going to leave Tom's his website and his social media, how to contact him in the description box. We're also going to leave a link to the application if you want to be a guest on the show. You fill out a quick application and you leave a short video just to make sure you've got all your teeth. That's pretty much it. Also, if you would consider joining our Patreon, it's $10 a month, but you pretty much don't get anything for that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. See ya.
Be cool.